Good day mga kamatkada! Nandito ngayon tayo para ituro ko sa inyo kung paano po mag-construct ng truth tables. Now, truth tables, conditional statement, negation, converse, inverse, and contrapositive. By the way, ano nga ba ang truth table? Truth table are logical devices that predominantly show up in mathematics, computer science, and philosophy applications. They are used to determine the truth and falsity of propositional statements by listing all possible outcomes of the truth values for the included propositions. So, in short, yung truth tables, siya lang naman yung nagbibigay sa atin ng listahan ng possible outcomes ng mismong propositional statements natin. So, it's either true or false. When we talk about true or false, totoo ba siya or hindi, nandoon siya sa mismong listahan natin. Okay? I'm going to give you an example, which is, if you are beautiful, then you are rich. So, that is our example. So, hindi na, pwede natin sabihin na true siya, no? Kasi sometimes may mga mayayaman na magaganda, no? At meron naman mayayaman na hindi magaganda, no? Meaning that is under of the false. So that is the idea of the truth table. So magbibigay lang siya ng listahan. Pero let's talk about on how to construct conditional statement or truth table under of conditional statement. So, papadaliin lang natin yung problem natin kung paano ba mag-construct ng truth table. Kasi nandito na lahat. Okay, so, ito lang yung technique natin. If P is only false when the hypothesis P or the premise is true and the conclusion Q is false. Otherwise, it is true. So, ito lang yung tatandaan nyo lagi. So, yung P natin, that is our hypothesis or the premise. And Q is our conclusion. So, masasabi natin na false ang isasagot natin. So, false ang isasagot natin under of the truth table if our hypothesis or the premise P is true and our conclusion is false. Okay po? Kapag yung hypothesis or the premise is true and the conclusion Q is false, we are going to answer the false. Okay? So let's say we have the truth table. So again, hypothesis true, conclusion false. So hypothesis true and our conclusion is false. Ang sasagot natin dyan ay false. Otherwise, it is true. Okay? So that is the very basic one, the conditional statement. Next example or the next statement under the converse, or how do we make or to construct truth table under of converse. Okay? Ito lang yung technique dyan. If Q, then P is only false when the hypothesis P or the premise P is false and the conclusion Q is true. Otherwise, it is true. Okay, sabi lang naman sa under of the converse, magsasagot tayo ng false kapag ang hypothesis natin ay false and our conclusion is true. Okay po, let's say we have a truth table. So we have hypothesis false and the conclusion is true. Our answer is false. Otherwise, it is true. Okay, that is the very basic. Okay, converse. The next one is the negation. Ito yung pinaka-favorite ko sa lahat kasi kahit nakapikit ka, kayang-kaya mo siyang sagutan. Okay, negation simply reverses the truth value of the given statement. Thus, if a statement P is true, then the truth value of its negation is false. In the same manner, if P is false, the truth value of its negation is true. Or in short, sa Tagalog, sa under of the negation, kapag true, gagawin mo lang siyang false. Kapag false, gagawin mo lang siyang true. Okay? Now, let's say we have a truth table. So, the symbol for the negation is this. Okay? So, kapag may nakita kayong ganito, ang basa dito is the negation of P. So, the reverse or yung kabaliktaran. So, kapag negation of P, syempre, titingin tayo kay P. Okay? So, true, it will become false. True, it will become false. False and false, we have true, true. Okay, we have the negation of Q. Syempre, titingin tayo kay Q. Therefore, we have true, it will become false. False, it will become true. True, it will become false. False, it will become true. So, that's it. So, negation na siya. So, meron ta kagad tayong truth table. Okay? The next is the inverse. When we talk about inverse, if the negation of P, then the negation of Q is only false when the negation of P is true and the negation of Q is false. Otherwise, it is true. So, dito naman sa inverse, meron tayong negation, no? So, meaning, kaya inuna kong tinuro yung negation kasi gagamitin natin siya sa inverse and contrapositive. Kasi, kukuha tayo ng concept doon sa negation of P and sa negation of Q. Okay, so if you can see here, kapag under ka ng inverse, and even sa contrapositive sa next slide, so kailangan mo munang kunin yung negation bago tayo magbigay ng conclusion. Okay? Or bago tayo magbigay ng true or false dito. Okay? So, the negation of P, so we have false, false, true, true, and the negation of Q is false, true, false, and then true. And then after that, kapag meron na tayong negation, pwede na tayo magsagot under of the inverse. Okay? Sabi sa inverse, only false. Only false daw po tayo when the negation of P is true. Okay? The negation of P is true and the negation of Q is false. So, true si negation of P and false si negation of Q. So, ang isasagot natin dito ay false. Otherwise, it is true. Okay. Again, sa inverse, kailangan muna natin kunin yung mga negation. Negation of the hypothesis or the premise. And the next one is the negation of the conclusion. And then, bago tayo maglagay ng truth table under of the inverse. Okay? The last one is about the contrapositive. Okay? Sabi sa contrapositive, if the negation of Q, then the negation of P is only false when the negation of Q is true and the negation of P is false. Otherwise, it is true. Okay, may nakita ulit tayong negation. Therefore, kukunin muna natin ulit yung negation ng mismong premise and ng mismong conclusion. Okay? So, if we have the negation of P, we have true. It will become false, true, false, false, true, false, true. Okay? Negation of Q, true, it will become false. False, it will become true. True, it will become false. False, it will become true. Okay? So, okay na tayo sa negation. Tapos, pwede na tayo magsagot or maglagay ng truth values dito sa under ng contrapositive. Okay? Sabi dyan, only false when the negation of Q is true. Okay? And the negation of P is false. Okay? Negation of P is false. And the negation of Q is true. So, sagot natin dito ay false. Okay? So, otherwise, it is true. Okay? That's it. So, ayan na ngayon yung paano mag-construct ng truth tables under of contrapositive, inverse, converse, negation, and conditional statement. Ngayon,